Hi. Okay, so in Unit 6, you're going to take the writing that you did in the very first unit as your pre-writing or your introductory writing assignment that you did not receive a grade for, and you're going to make changes to that. So the prompt for this writing assignment is, most people think that their lives would be perfect if only certain conditions were met or circumstances would turn in their favor. What would need to be gained or lost in the world around you for this to happen? Write an essay that describes what it would take for your world to be perfect. So when you submitted this assignment, I let you know that there was no actual grade. I graded you on it. Most likely you received 100 for turning it in or a 0 for turning in a blank sheet. And I told you that you should probably resubmit an assignment because you needed to have feedback from me. And then I gave you feedback based upon what I wanted to see in terms of growth in your writing. And a lot of times I will comment on things like a thesis statement. You needed a stronger thesis statement. And a thesis statement is one sentence that provides the organization, argument, and structure of your essay. That you needed to have strong topic sentences, that you needed to have support for your arguments, that you needed to write in full sentences, capitalize certain letters such as I or the first letter of every sentence. I might have talked about your punctuation. I might have talked about how you would break up a paragraph. So things like that were topics that I would have addressed in your initial submission. So now you're going to take that essay and you are going to show your growth over the last several weeks that you have from things that you've learned in this course. So the first thing that you are going to do for part 1 of this assignment is you are going to type or copy and paste your complete rewritten essay at this time. And in this part, you want to be sure that you have a strong thesis statement and that the information you have learned in this course should reflect a clear, firm, full statement of your views. Your ideas should be presented clearly and persuasively, and your position should be supported with citations, facts, and examples drawn from the information you have encountered in this course. So really what you're going to look at is you are going to look at how would you support your ideas in a way that is clearly organized and nicely written, clearly and succinctly written from things that you've learned in this class. So that's the first part that you're going to submit. The second part that you're going to submit are going to be, you were given items by me on which to focus. There are items that you should have been made more aware of as you went through this course. And the next section of this assignment asks you to use a checklist and create a list of 10 specific items that you need to change before you can rewrite your essay. And your list is what determines your grade on this section. So writing something along the lines of, my writing was fine the first time around, I didn't need to change anything. Or I made edits as I went along, I didn't note what I changed. Doesn't really work. So you're gonna write things like, and they provide a checklist. So does my writing have a clear purpose or a central idea? Does the central idea relate to the prompt? Is each part of the prompt fulfilled? Are my ideas supported by details, facts, examples, or explanations? Does my writing catch and hold the reader's attention? Is my writing organized with my ideas and details in the best possible order? Does each paragraph focus on a single important supporting idea? Are my ideas connected well by transitions and effective paragraphing? Do my sentences flow smoothly? Do I use a consistent point of view in my writing? When I write, do my sentences contain vivid words and phrases that make it interesting and enjoyable? Do I use formal language and word choice to create an academic and approachable tone? Are my arguments effective with a consistent style, tone, and voice that is appropriate to my audience and purpose? Does my writer's voice come through in my writing? Have I demonstrated everything I learned in this course about my topic? So things that you are going to write is you're going to answer these questions, or you're going to write things that you created based upon the list that I provided for you when you initially submitted your writing sample. So you might write something like, I focused on creating a better argument in my thesis statement. I made sure that my thesis statement showed the organization of my paper. I made sure my body paragraphs aligned with my thesis statement. I made sure that each body paragraph was only about one subject. I made sure that each body paragraph had a strong topic sentence that outlined what I was going to cover in that paragraph. I made sure that my conclusion started with a restated thesis statement. I made sure that I always capitalized the letter I in the first letter of every sentence. I made sure that the punctuation that I used at the end of every sentence was appropriate and applicable. So you're going to look at things like that, as well as possibly answering the questions that have been provided for you in this section of the question. So the next piece is you are going to answer, now that you have a plan, it is time to implement it. Using the list you created previously, choose 3 paragraphs from your essay and rewrite them. If you are completely rewriting your essay, begin with the first 3 paragraphs. Demonstrate the changes from your original and make significant improvements. So now you're going to take those 10 things that you wanted to improve upon from what you submitted in the first part. So in part 1, you submitted your essay. In part 2, you said what you wanted to change. In this part, you're going to take the things you said in part 2 and apply them to part 1. And your grade on this part will show how much your writing has grown in those 3 paragraphs. The fourth part is you are going to use all of your revisions. So in the first, part 3 only reflects on those 3 paragraphs. So how much did you change them? Part 4 reflects on all of your paragraphs. And so you want to make sure that your writing reflects things that you've learned during the course, as well as things that I commented on in your initial submission. And you're going to submit that in part 4. And then part 5 is you are going to copy and paste your completely rewritten essay at this time. So you want to make sure that you have a strong thesis statement, that your organization is strong, that you are presenting your opinion in a persuasive way, that you have adequately supported your positions. And that's what's going to go into this section. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to call or email me, and I would be more than happy to answer those.